Yeah, hi everyone. Today we are going to start learning UI technologies, user interface in full stack development. So first of all, in a full stack development, using full stack development, we develop the applications end to end. Apps we can develop, but every application consists three areas. So one is a client, one is a server, and the third one is a database. We already know database is always used to store the information. Always we store the data in a table format. We store the data in table format. For this, what is the knowledge required? Database knowledge. Simply to say, we should be good at SQL concepts. Using the database management system, we can perform all the database operations, but that user can communicate with the application. For example, banking application, either user who will use means what? Customer only. But as soon as you open that app, that banking application app in your mobile, user interface is visible. UI, user interface. With the help of user interface only, every user can communicate with the system, nothing but application. Between user and database, there is a server. There is a server. Server is just a connector between the user interface as well as database. See, how can we create using the user interface by using technologies? First, we are going to learn technologies. Using the technologies called HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And later, we can use that frameworks also. Frameworks here, as we are learning, we will learn that framework suppose is a React. It's a React. Just for developing that user interface only, they use. And what is that server side? If you are the Java developer, we use that Java coding, the Spring or Spring Boot. If you are the .NET developer, so you are using that .NET MVC. If you are the PHP developer, we use a PHP. If you are Python developer, you will use the Django, is a Django. They will use. And that SQL, any database. Suppose MySQL we learn. Here the question is we learn all the three to become that full stack developer. In user interface, right? UI technologies we need to learn and any framework we learn. Server side in any one, either Java or .NET or PHP or Python. Then we connect with the database. One database management system we learn. Anything, Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server is all are same almost. Sir, without learning Java, .NET, PHP or Python, can't we become a full stack developer means what? We have options. Two full stack, UI full stack developers are there. Directly UI full stack. UI full stack development. Two things are there. One is a MERN, or second one is a MERN stack or main stack. So what is that MERN stack and main stack? So once again, is a user interface. Next one is a server. It's the same diagram I'm writing. That next one is a database. Next one is a database. Here it is for connectivity SQL. Connectivity SQL. They will use the things here. First is a front end, is nothing but UI, either React, JS or Angular JS. They will use. This is what front end, nothing but UI. Server side is actually called a backend or server side anything. They will use that. Server name is a node. Server is a node, nothing but Node.js. Node.js plus for writing the server side programming like these four in UI also one is there. It is what Express.js. Express.js, that is called for coding. Code you need to write in that Express.js. And SQL database, they use a MongoDB. Why MongoDB means what? Compared to SQL, that is very, very easy. No SQL, simply we can say. Queries, no need to write manually. Here it is a main stack means what? M for MongoDB. M for MongoDB. E for Express.js. A for AngularJS. N for Node.js. Is the same one is a MERN. MERN is the same story. Is a MongoDB. E for Express.js, only R means what? Is a React.js. N is a Node. Only the change is what? Only the change is what we are using as a React.js or AngularJS as a front end. As a front end. So in place of these server-side programming things, we use what? Express.js as a server side. So full stack developer means what? Pure UI developer is there as a normal UI developer. Means only you know that either React.js or AngularJS. You can call it as a UI developer. No, along with that UI frameworks and technologies, if you learn that main or MERN, backend Express also, if you learn, then you will become UI full stack developer. Backend, instead of learning Express.js, if you learn Java, you become Java full stack developer. If you learn Django Python, you will become Python full stack developer, like this. Okay. Now, in this part, we are going to start learning UI technologies. That is nothing but developing the front end UI technologies. Now, I'm just giving that first introduction part of UI technologies completely. So in the creation of front end, we are learning UI technologies. The three are there: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So what is the purpose? What is the purpose? Why we use HTML? So why we use CSS? And why we use JavaScript? With one simple example. Here it is. I'm taking, suppose, is a login form I'm taking. Because any website you open, that first step is what? you need to log in or register. As soon as you open the login page, sign in or sign up, it will ask. Sign up is for registration, sign in is for login. So how it will be? It will ask simply like this: enter username, enter password, and simply a button is a login. Maybe the text boxes will give text boxes with a login button. With a login button. Now in the design of this login, where we use a HTML means what? HTML is used to create content of web pages. Just create content of web pages. Nothing but heading. Next one, labels, text boxes, buttons. Text boxes, buttons. Nothing but is it this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Only the content creation. Just for creating the content, we are using this web page. That is what HTML. Sir, for example, I just want to give the border, and I want to give some shading. I want to give the shading. It's not just a plain page I don't want to use, or some background color I want to set. Heading I want to align to the center. Not only heading, the content also, button and everything I am aligning to the center. That is called CSS. Styling is used to apply styles. Apply styles. First of all, colors is a backgrounds, alignment, borders, shading, padding, and everything comes under what? CSS. Okay. So purpose. Suppose whenever we are learning, initial simple questions they will ask, what is the purpose of HTML? HTML is not used to create the background color, changing that font color or font size, just for writing the content. That's all. No other thing. So that is what CSS. Next one is a JavaScript. See, without entering the username or password, or suppose I enter username, without entering the password. If I just click on that login page, if I just click on this login page, we will get that error. So password cannot be empty. Password cannot be empty. So whenever you click on the login button, who will give this message, who will respond to this one is nothing but is a JavaScript. Is a JavaScript program will respond to this one. JavaScript is giving that message. Here it is. JavaScript is giving functionality to web pages. Functionality means what? Simply to say more clearly, responsiveness. Suppose if there is a button, suppose just is a message. How to create this button? Using HTML. How to create the border and font? Using CSS. But whenever you click on the button, it will give the message is a welcome all. Welcome all. How this message you will get is a JavaScript. Is a JavaScript. Responsiveness. Without JavaScript, JavaScript is completely programming like Java, Python, .NET. JavaScript is a programming where we learn variables, data types, operators, conditional statements. Same like normal programming languages only. So first thing, so before going to start learning UI technologies, initial questions they will ask. What is the use of UI technologies? In application development, to design the UI part, we use UI technologies. There are three UI technologies are there: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML is used to create content of the web page. No styling, nothing. If you want to apply styles, we use what? CSS. To give the responsiveness to that HTML page, we use a JavaScript. These are the three things. That next one is where to write this HTML code, who will run this HTML code, and everything we'll see. So first thing we need to understand HTML program. So if you want to write a HTML program, first thing about HTML elements. HTML elements. What are the HTML elements? So many are there. If you want to create one button, they have given button is an element. If you want to break, send the control to the next line, here they have given. If you want to draw horizontal line, HR. If you want to display one image, IMG. If you want to create label, label. If you want to display the text box and all, input. So many given. So many given. All these are what? HTML elements. All these are what? HTML elements. Let me explain one thing. If you just write HR, just imagine. We need to put it in angular brackets. Of course, I'll explain. Okay. If you just write HR, then automatically one horizontal line will come. Directly, one horizontal will line come. How it will display that horizontal line? Background logic is there. Every HTML element behind, there is a lot of coding. There is a lot of coding is there. Behind every HTML element, there is a lot of code. This is the one only. Suppose HR, horizontal line. But we don't need this. We don't need this. Directly, we utilize this one. We utilize this one. So if they ask what are HTML elements? HTML elements are predefined words, simply to say programs. Programs are used to create content of the web page. Are used to create content of the web page. HTML elements are there. So many elements are there because with the help of elements only we can create. But sir, by just writing the button, how it is creating the button, sir? If you just write the button, if you write like this simply, is automatically is creating the button. How it is creating the button? Behind so much logic is there. So much logic is there in creating the button. But that logic is predefined. Already they have written. Already they have written. We are just using that one. Those are called HTML elements. Those are called HTML elements. Next one is the same. HTML tags are there. Same one. Before writing the first simple program, we need to learn these things. HTML tags are there. So what is the tag? Just placing HTML element in angular brackets. In a angular brackets. These are. Okay. Tags we write like this. This is one tag. And this is a one kind of tag. And this is one kind of tag. Tag we write in three ways in HTML. First one is without any slash. Next one is what? Slash preceded by the tag. Next one is what? A slash is a followed by the tag. Total three. Total three are there. When we can use this, when we can use this, and when you can use this. Important. See, before you are placing is after you are placing. These two we combinedly use for describing the non-empty elements. Non-empty elements means what? There is a start tag. Let us take paragraph or let us take title. Title. This is content, my page title. And this is a closing tag. For creating this one, start tag is required. This is called a starting tag. And this is what? Content. And this is what? End tag. This is what? End tag. Empty elements and non-empty elements. Here first we are giving that non-empty elements. Non-empty elements means what? Come up with the content. Any paragraph, heading, title, label. These are. Next one, this we are using to represent that empty elements. To represent that empty elements is a one. Empty elements means what? Here it is. There is no content. The best example is a break only. It will give that line break, horizontal line, like this. Only start tag is there and we end there itself. Only start tag. Only start tag. That is. And important, no content. So two types of tags are there. So one is a non-empty elements. Second one is a empty elements. Non-empty elements represented by two types of tags. Start tag and end tag. Here in end tag, you need to give that slash preceded by this tag. non-empty elements. In empty elements, single tag only, but slash you need to write followed by this tag. Followed by the tag. These are the rules we have to specify. Okay. And sir, suppose if I am not following the rules, I'm not giving. Suppose break, sir. Simply I'm just giving this BR. Still it is working. It is not giving any error message. It is showing the output. It is showing the output. Three things are there. Three things are there about that HTML. First one is errorless language. Very dangerous. Errorless language. First thing. Second one is what? Not case sensitive. Case insensitive. Not case sensitive. And the third one is normal. Who will run means what? Run by browser. First one is what is errorless language? Even though you are writing mistakes in the code, still you will get the output. It will generate output. It will not show the error. Like in other languages, like compilation errors are there. But here it is no error. Directly you are getting the output. But sir, how I I'll come by know that there is an error in the code by looking at the output only. Suppose you are expecting some output. If that is not came, any other output came, any other, oh, okay. So what I'm expecting that is not coming. So somewhere I made a mistake. Sir, where? It is very, very hard. Very, very hard. After writing 100 lines or something, if you are not writing tag properly, it will not generate that output correctly. Then where we need to check means what? If it is C language or is it Java or is it .NET or is it Python, directly it will show where the error is. It will take you to that location exactly to the line number. But it is not like that. It will not give any error message and all. That's why it is everyone saying that it is a simple, it's an errorless language. No, it's very hard because every time we need to find out that error ourselves from the starting of the code to end of the code. Start of the code to end of the code. That is called errorless language. Not a case sensitive means it's your wish. Sir, I want to put all title, all in capital letters. Your wish. Sir, I want to put all in small letters. Your wish. I want to put only first one, remaining all small letters. Your wish. I want to put one is a capital, one is a small, one is a capital, one is a small. Your wish. Right? So anything you can follow. It will not follow that case sensitivity. Particularly, you need to write capital letters only. Particularly, you write a small letters only. Is not like that. Run by the browser. Who will run means what? Using the browser only, we can execute UI code. Browser means Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Opera Mini. So many are there, na? Recently also so many are there. We are using this one. Okay. So once again, first thing, here it is, UI technologies. UI front-end technologies means what? If anyone asks, front-end technologies, we learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript. UI front-end frameworks. Frameworks means what? We can say that React, Angular. UI server side means what? Server side coding means what? Of course, everyone saying that JavaScript we use as the server side only. JavaScript is nothing but the code format is the same. We should say that it's an Express.js and in the server is a Node.js. Remember that to become the full stack developer. Okay, here you will become either UI developer or we can call it as a React developer or Angular developer. We can call it. But if you learn these things also means what? You will become UI full stack developer. Instead of learning any other technologies, Java, .NET, Python, PHP, here also you can become UI full stack developer by adding Node.js, Express.js and all. Next one, UI technologies, HTML is to create content of web pages. Just content of web pages. CSS is used to apply styles to web pages. JavaScript is giving responsiveness to web pages. These are where we use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Next one is a come to that coding part. HTML elements are predefined programs. It's like same title, paragraph, break, HR, button. Programs used to create content of web page, because by using HTML elements only, we create that content. The next one is a tags. Writing HTML element in Angular brackets. Two types of elements are there. One is a non-empty elements, which contains two types of tags, start tag and end tag. Next one is a empty elements, which contains only start tag. The next one is a HTML is errorless language. HTML is not case sensitive. Next one, HTML code, of course, CSS and JavaScript also, is run by browser. These are the few things. Okay. The next one is one simple thing. I'll explain theoretically. Then we can close the theoretical session. See, in this one, whenever you are creating that HTML page, the complete content you have to place between the two tags called HTML start and HTML ends. The complete page logic you have to place here in this area. But before this, you need to use one tag. This tag is called doc type HTML. This is the tag. In interview, they will ask these simple questions. So what is the first tag you need to specify in HTML document creation? In HTML document creation, this one gives information to browser about which HTML version we are using. It is giving information to the browser because I already told you who will run HTML code means what? Browser will run HTML code. Browser. But which HTML version we are using? The new version I am using. Then old browsers cannot run. Old browsers. Sir, suppose I have written the code, but it is not running on my browser because you have written old code, I mean new code and running on old browser. Then you have to update the browser. So always browser should be up to date, very up to date. Suppose Google Chrome today you download and install, it is updated only. That is enough. But suppose if you are running on very old systems, old browsers are there. So there that code will not execute properly because of that browser issue. It cannot recognize that new version of HTML code. So this way, the first line itself is giving the information to the browser about HTML code. Okay. The next one is every HTML page has two locations. Two locations. One is a head location. Head location. Second one is a body location. Body. So what type of contents you are writing in body is the same. We already discussed headings, paragraphs, images like labels, buttons, hyperlinks, all these are we display on the body like content. Whatever the content is visible on the web page, that we define in body. And what kind of information we place in head location, like titles and all, which is not displayed. But main information is a meta information. They will ask the question, interview question. What is meta information and what is the use of this one? For example, in meta information, keywords are there. So what are the keywords? Suppose I'm creating this page is a page. Let us consider this is ESPN. ESPN is a cricket score page. Consider cricket score page. Here I have written the code for this one. But the page is ready. Website is ready. You have deployed in the server. But how Google search engine or search engine, any search engine will come by know that, but this is the page we need to give as a result to the user. Whenever we search in the search engine, what is the keyword you specify to get this page? For example, we search like this, ESPN cricket or live cricket or cricket information, live cricket score. Like this, we will search. Different people will search in different ways. These are the keywords we have to guess. And that same keywords you have to give here. Like this. So, is any meta keyword is a matches? Then Google search engine will recognize that, oh, okay, this is the website and this is the web page having the meta information which is given by that keyword in a Google search engine or any search engine. So then that search engine provides this as a result. That is called meta information. That information you are giving to search engine. What is that meta information? That information, the information we are providing to search engine about web page, so that that page is visible in search results. Page is visible in search results. That is what is very, very important. Okay. So this is the complete information, how you are executing and all. So one point, where to write the code and all. The programming we will start in the next class. But before that, we will share one video. By watching that video, you need to download and install Visual Studio Code software. Okay. And why we are downloading and everything I'll explain. Because this is just the theoretical concepts of UI technologies. From tomorrow onwards, we will start coding in that Visual Studio Code. Okay. You can leave for today.